righty. Oh my God! I just turned my head for a second. Everybody popped in. Good evening, Bud Files. Mr. Tony's back. Good evening, Mr. Marty again. Miss Mandy popped in. Tom Kingery. Evening, Tom. Tony says, dang second. There you are. The guy's name was Jared, and he got arrested, but somebody else took over the channel. Wow, Diana. Um, I'd like to look that up. Do you know anything about that, where he was at or where that happened? Evening, Marty. Good evening, Miss Mandy's Candy. There's Mr. Backyard Beekeeper. Guys, so we were just talking about you over on Bill's stream. There's Mr. Chris, still at work. Working hard, I see. Thank you all for popping in already. We're already up to 11 people. Fantastic, guys. Yeah, Backyard Beekeeper guy, we were talking about the guy in my club who does bees and supplies his honey. And then his bees went dry. And then I remember contacting you on the Sunday stream, and you said yours had. Are yours producing any more honey yet this year? Okay, thank you, Diana. And we're back. Good evening, Mr. Jim Steele. Mr. Scott McClory's here. Just popping in before my shift ends in a few minutes. Thank you, Scott. Much appreciated. We're just continuing Bill's stream. His hip started giving him some problems. I could tell there the last few minutes he was feeling a little distressed, a little bit in pain. So we'll take over the heavy lifting duties for Bill here. Man, this picture looks better than I have on Sunday mornings. Something to do with when he was younger, some young girl accused him of rape and her sexually assaulting. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that'll do that real quickly. Hey, I watched Hello World Darnell Williams, boy, up till the day that they threw his ass in state prison for molesting children. And I went and somebody gave me his, we went and looked up his name and went and found the newspaper articles. And apparently for the last 3 or 5 years, he'd been on probation for a similar item, but he was making all those videos. I was one of his thousands and thousands of subscribers. He did great videos. It was great seeing a black guy out there in our community, hopefully getting to see some more people of color out there and getting, more people that he could influence to be in it. And then all of a sudden, boom, he disappeared. And then the word started going out that he had violated his probation, and they shipped him off for something like 18 years. But yeah, so could I, Jason. It just sounded like he was in pain when he walked there. We are entering a dearth now. I do have honey still to harvest, but a lot of rain here lately. Okay, I don't know if rain is good or bad for beehives. Jim says I'm ready for someone to molest me. You might have to pay somebody for that, Jim. Yeah, guys, I want to thank. I had 38 people in my Monday night premiere for my Monday digs. It was a beach hunt that had 2 rings. One was gold plated and one had gold in it, gold trimmed. So that was a phenomenal beach and I hunt, and I did both digs live. It's amazing. I go into how many people's videos and they say we do live digs, and then right in the middle of the dig, the camera cuts out, and then they come right back on and they go, "What do you think of that?" And I'm like, "That's not a live dig. A live dig is when the camera never shuts off from before when you put your shovel in the dirt or your scoop in the sand until you bring the item out and display the item with never a camera break. That's a live dig." Mr. Tom Riley's here too. Well, Tony, you heard what happened to that guy that used to be the doctor for the U.S. gymnastics team. He got stabbed in a prison here in Florida. I think it was yesterday. He got stabbed 10 times, including twice in the neck. He had, I don't know any other word to use, but he had diddled at least 200 of the female gymnasts, U.S. gymnast girls, over the course of numerous years, dozens and dozens of years, as part of medical examinations. And finally, it came to light, and yeah, he's serving something like 8 life sentences or something. Jason says he's Googling dearth. I know, Jason, that's a great word. Good evening, BER. I'm not sure if you pronounce that burr or not, but pink hand waving. Well, welcome. Welcome to the chat. We're just kind of doing an impromptu chat here. We were all over at PAPAROUS Bill's Tuesday night get together stream, but Bill was feeling a little uncomfortable with some hip pain. So hopefully he'll feel a little better and pop in here tonight. Good evening, John CZ Kid. Jim, turn yourself in for touching yourself without consent. The age of kids I understood in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, I think that's old enough to know better. Not much nectar for dearth, so honey season is mostly done. So much rain, haven't been able to harvest honey. Too much moisture in the honey is no good because it can cause the honey to ferment. Look at this, guys. I'm learning all about bee stuff tonight. But yeah, we have a guy in our club that does it, and I guess Miss Hot Mess Fishing's live. I just got a notification live on her birthday. Happy birthday to Miss Alicia. Good evening, Mr. Zaxon. Zach is in the room. Short for Amber. Thank you, Miss Burr. That's a cool little. We had Miss Burr. We had a girl at my work named. Oh my God, how am I going to forget this? We actually dated for a while. I can't remember if her name was Marianne or Marilyn, but for her whole life, her family just called her M, and that's how she was known at work, was just M. And she never used her full name. It was just M. Well, that answers why my buddy's beehive's not producing. Mr. Tony Diggs giving out financial advice here. Buy your honey stocks because they're going to go nuts if there's shortage of honey. Beekeeping is a continuous learning process. Yeah, I bet it is. When you're dealing with live animals, live creatures. And talking about Tony here, buy honey stocks. I was talking to a family member the other day, and they said they got a dozen eggs at Aldi's for under $3 a dozen. We can't touch egg prices like that around here. About a week ago, I think the day after 4th of July, for 4th of July here, our gas went all the way down to 309. Denise actually found a station that had it at 289 because they were doing some promo that was associated with Walmart, and she could use her Walmart phone app and got another 10 cents off. So she got gas for like 278 one day, and then the next day we woke up after 4th of July. It went from 309 to 349 on the 6th of July. I mean, boom, 40 cents like that. Diana says she got 18 eggs for 198 and she almost fell over. I can completely understand that. Jackson says Marianne was most people's favorite, but I'm a future planner and I was going to go for Mrs. Howe. Oh, Jackson, that's hilarious. That's been the universal debate for what, 60 years, since 1960s when Gilligan's Island came out, was Marianne or Ginger. And of course, we all think, Marianne looked like the girl, the typical American girl next door. Good evening, Mr. Scott Jarvie. Welcome. Pecker Beaver, guys. I don't know about any honey stocks. party. That's a good joke. I'd never heard that one. Ah, Backyard Pee Guy says, I'm into dividend investing. I actually know what dividend investing that is you own stocks that pay a dividend and you don't touch them, and then you just have the company automatically reinvest your dividends. So you're getting more portions of a stock. When I worked for Disney, guys, I had 10% of my pay taken out for Disney stock, and I reinvested all the dividends too. So yeah, that was a great thing that Disney did. You just signed up when you got hired, and you just forgot about that. And when I was working at Disney during 9/11 when the tax hit, and I think the stock market was closed for 2 days, and then on that third day when they started resuming plane flights and the stock market, uh, Disney, I mean, obviously the market crashed that day. It happened. Disney opened up like at 16.75 a share, and so if you'd have had a crap load of money to put into Disney, because literally 10 years later, Disney stock was almost $200. So if you could have bought 1,000 shares at $16, you could have retired. Yes, and drip investing is too. A lot of people don't know what drip investing is. Uh, Rob, the financial guru here. Drip investing is when you can buy your stocks directly from the company, and you can also buy, like, even if you only buy like $20 for the week or something, the stock is more than that, they will let you buy a partial share, and then you can buy it directly from the stock, so you don't have to pay any kind of a broker. There's more and more stocks. I mean, I was doing that back in the 80s and 90s, but there's more and more stocks now that you can buy through drip accounts. Rivian. Hey, I didn't realize this was going to be the Rob Stock Show tonight. Rivian broke out this week because they went way over their numbers for their electric trucks. So yeah, Rivian's having a nice run right now, and if they can keep that up, there's some people that are going to do that. But then again, you got the other side with Lucid Motors, that has literally lost. The electric maker Lucid Motors has literally lost 98% of their value. At one time, that was a $430 stock, and now it is like a $4 stock. So people literally lost billions in Lucid. But yeah, Zaxxon, Rivian's doing well now. Not Lucid. What did I say? Oh, who's the? Oh, it's the one that missed their. I'll remember it. But hey, thanks guys for being here. It says freestyle. You never know what goes through our heads. That right, guys? We're just winging it tonight. Whatever you folks want to talk about. I just thought I'd help out Bill tonight. Hopefully he can maybe take a pain pill or something and have his hip feel a little better. Rivian boomed after the Amazon 300 truck order. It's funny. Of course, I know Tesla's been working on the Cybertruck for since like 2019. They've been trying to get the Cybertruck out, and supposedly it's coming out in Q3. But I was really surprised that Tesla didn't get on the small panel vehicle delivery vehicle thing, and they let Rivian take that, because most of the Amazon vehicles that come here to Denise's house are the new electric vehicles, and they're pretty cool looking. They're a pretty cool looking delivery vehicle. Well, thank you, Beekeeper. Oh, sorry, guys. Bill makes me yawn. Thank you for the 13 folks that are here tonight. Hey, buddy, we all need to do that sometime. Absolutely no worries. We need to do that sometimes. I was up at 4:30 yesterday morning. Like I say, I've been dealing with a family crisis for about 12 days. It's been consuming my time and my resources and a lot of other things. And so I got up at 4:30 yesterday to take that family member's boyfriend to day labor to see if he could get work for the day to help them get on their feet financially. And unfortunately, they didn't have any work that day. But I have told him, if you get a job and they have a job for you, I will get you there. I don't care if it's 4:30, 5 o'clock. I will get you there. I will drop you off at the work site, and you call me at 3, 4, 5 o'clock, whatever, and I'll come get you. Let's get you guys making some money, get you guys back on your feet. Ah, there we go. Tony says you can't get pain pills. Yeah, it's getting a lot tougher to get pain pills these days. Thank you, Burr. These days you can't get pain pills. You can still get muscle relaxers. Miss Amber, where are you located? Where are you out of? Good evening, Mr. Pat. Bill wasn't feeling too good, Pat. His hip started hurting really bad. He went up to get a cup of coffee, and I could hear him struggling. So he wanted to sign off, and we still had like 18, 20 people in the room. So I said, "Come on over, folks." Yeah, Zaxxon. I mean, look at Monday Digs last night. I think there were 7 of us that had a stream of videos last night, and yet there was 3 other channels I knew that were live, and then Merrill went live, uh, and he immediately had 300 people watching his beach live stream. So we lost a few people. There's hardly a time now where you're not stepping on somebody's foot. The Sunflower State, which is, oh man, what is the Sunflower State? Is it Nebraska, Iowa? Oh, I think it's out in the Midwest. Kansas. I was close. But yeah, you know, you gotta spend some time. It's hard. I mean, I try and pop in and say hi to people's streams, but there was a night on that I knew 4 channels that were on, and I saw Bill in 3 of them. I tried popping into 4 of them, and at least stopping by and saying hi to some people and catching back and forth. No, folks, it's you can't keep up with 4 streams. That's just crazy. Jackson says everyone's on the CDB around here. When I was over Pat's last year, he gave me one of his fudge brownies, his Pat brownies, and it kind of gave me an out of body experience. But did it take away my pain? No, unfortunately, I'm going to say it did not. So I've never. Thank you, back here, beekeeper guy. I could just tell you right now that it would just depress everybody in this stream. So we're not going to talk about it. So Bill popped in. There's Mr. Bill. Yeah, Bill, I thought you sounded like you were struggling a bit when you came back from that cup of coffee. So it didn't surprise me when you said that. Good evening, Doug. Something free. uh, that's right, free harassing. If Autism Mary was still in here, she'd be still harassing all of us. Imagine Pat's GUIs. Yeah, yeah, I bet Pat would have some really good GUIs. Sorry. I actually drank both my. I only made a 2 cup pot of coffee tonight, and sometimes I don't even drink that second cup. I'm asleep before the second cup, but not tonight, man. I finished off both my cups of. Oh, got 1 sip left. All right, now my coffee's done. Chris says, sorry, we're called. You actually had to do something, Chris. That's hilarious. Yeah, there was a while there, guys, at Disney for a while when you're the FNG. Sometimes you get the crappiest job. So some of my jobs would be manning an animal gate because when I worked at Animal Kingdom, obviously all the animals come in at night and they're all in their nice pens, but Disney was like super secure about everything. So every single animal pen has a lock gate system. So the only people allowed in there are the animal keepers of that specific animal, and they have to have a specific ID tag to get in there. So we had like little kiosks, like nice little air conditioned kiosk with a desk and a computer, and we manned those animal things. And on the midnight shift, you might have only had one or two animal keeper come in 8 hours, so you were just sitting there. So a lot of the guys, a lot of the younger guys that were in college, they took those posts on midnight so they could get all their college reading and studying done. Good evening, Mark C. Marty says, like Beetlejuice. Yeah, I appreciate Bill's help last Sunday. I definitely appreciated Peter's help the Sunday before. I did realize when I was co-hosting Peter, when I went back and watched the stream, man, did I talk a lot. I talked over Peter. He tried telling me 3 times that person Jane Doe in the stream with his mom, and I just was starting another conversation. I could see he was trying to start it, and yet he stayed so calm and polite the whole time. So I know Rob talk a lot. No, I know. I'm just a natural communicator, guys. Yeah, it helps when you're getting the permissions. But I'll tell you something. I just take lessons from Troy. He's just the master. That could happen. Mike the Greek says, "Yo, welcome, Mike. We're just doing a little freestyling here after Bill's stream. Um, I want to see Rob in the Big Brother's house. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm too old for those shows now, guys. But me and my sister used to joke about applying for the Amazing Race, but between the two of us, I don't think we make a full healthy physical person even between the two of us. So, but that's if you could ask me one reality show I want to be on, it would be yeah, Bill. I dropped the link. Um, I, I'd love to have me and Denise do the Amazing Race. I don't know if they're taking 60-year-old couples, but there's Mr. Bill.
Thanks, Rob.
You betcha, sir. Yeah, I feel like it's Sunday morning all over again.
But no, man, leg cramps were getting bad.
I could hear it when you were coming back. I could hear you groaning when you were coming back.
Oh man. Yep.
Like, man, I hope Bill's doing okay. Zaxxon, it's not that I got a new light. It's that this light is working much better at the nighttime than it does during the day. The natural light just fills this. But we do have. I bought these a couple months ago off Amazon. I got 2 of them. They have a 6-foot tripod. They have different filters, so you can make them different colors. And I got a pair of them, and they've worked out great for $25. So when I'm doing my coins on one end of the table, I can have one for my coins, which helps light up. And then Denise does a lot of puzzles. That's one of her hobbies. And at the other end, so she can use the other light for her puzzles. Moon over Miami. Good evening. So yeah, it's making me look like I have this really rosy red complexion when I haven't been out in the sun. I know, Moon. It's like all the same people. Bill's here co-hosting tonight. It feels like Sunday morning night. But yeah, Zaxxon, I did get new lighting. I think it was Jason BC Treasure Trails or somebody else. Well, he's given me several numerous nice super chats. One of them I signed up for the duck races paid version, so I can have up to 1,000 people in a race. And then I bought these lights, and so we're trying to make a few upgrades to the channel here. What the hell? I get up there to get up to pee, and here's Robin. Greg, you got to get out of that Barker Lounge sometime, buddy.
Hi, Pat.
I do. It does look like Rose face.
Menardo After Dark.
That's it. Menardo After Dark. Do we all have to talk with sultry voices now?
Yes, he can only
Hell,
do
I get up.
this.
I get up to go to the bathroom. I get up to go to the bathroom. Pat's Wednesday night Zoom, and Pat's in there, and Bill's in there, and a couple other people. I come back. I'm like, okay, I did spend a little time in the bathroom. But I come back, and the stream's gone. The Zoom's gone.
He does that a lot.
I have done that several times. But yeah, at least this high def or digital camera of mine is focusing nice tonight. So maybe we should close the back door and do the lighting a little different on Sunday. Midnight Menardo. Menardo After Dark. I like that. I do like that, Pat.
Yeah, that's a good name for it. Menardo After Dark.
Well, Bill, we're back up to the 17 you had, sir.
Cool.
You didn't want to go detecting tonight? Mark, I've been dealing with heavy breath here, Pat, or Bill, Papa Bill. I've been dealing with a serious family crisis for the last 10 to 12 days that's taken a lot of my time. A lot of stress, a lot of mental anguish, and a lot of money that I've been trying to. It's been a dumpster fire that I've got down to at least a small brush fire now, and we have made some headway. Uh, there was major chaos this morning, Bill, when they said the hotel room charge didn't go through. Oh, it was just, I'll call you on the phone, Bill. It was sometime later. Menardo's dark stream. So yeah, Mark, I haven't detected all week at all. Thanks, Mark. So I was saying over in Bill's stream, I'm leaving here Friday morning hopefully around 7:30 in the morning. I'm driving. I am on the west coast of Florida, literally a mile from the Gulf of Mexico. I'm driving over to the east coast to Pat's, who lives in the area called Sebastian, which is near Vero Beach. Um, I'm staying with Kimberly and her wife, Kimberly Creamer, the Sunshine State Detective. So I'm staying with Kimberly and her wife. They live a couple miles from Pat. And then Shane, the blind detectorist, is down here with his family from Pennsylvania. They've got a house right on the beach about 45 minutes north of Pat. And hopefully Pat and Shane and I are going to get together Friday to do an old park that Pat and Shane found. Or we're going to go into downtown historic district, and hopefully we're going to hit some curb strips and maybe get a permission or two. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. Ohio Fredo, good evening. Welcome.
Backyard beekeeper.
And so hopefully, and then Saturday morning, hopefully really early, I can get Shane out on the beach before it gets busy. Shane goes, when do you want to get together? I said, well, I'm driving over Friday. I should be there about 10:30. I said, let's go hit the beach as soon as I get there. He goes, Rob, the beach is going to be packed. I'm blind. And I'm like, oh, crap, Shane. I forgot about how many people are on the beach during the daytime. I'm so used to hunting the beach at night, Bill. I just think nobody's there. Yeah, Moon, the lighting at night here is making me look a lot different. But yeah, the hair is definitely silver in the front. All that coloring from the Ron Burgundy is definitely all gone. Thank you, Backyard Beekeeper Guy. Okay, I don't know what GLNHA means.
You'd make a great Santa Claus.
Bill, I'm trying to lose the gut. I don't want to get it bigger.
Don't feed Rob after midnight.
That's pretty much right too. Yeah, Zaxxon, unfortunately, that's the way it's been right now. But I'm trying to help them help themselves if they'll let me.
Yeah.
I'm typing up a written plan, Bill, and we'll see if it gets followed. But I've got a 60-day program to get them back on their feet.
Uh-huh.
And if it takes a lot of driving and a lot of work with me, then I'll be glad to do that. Good
Yeah.
evening, Mr. Papaw.
Oh,
Welcome to
hello.
the impromptu stream at night. We were all in Bill's stream earlier tonight on PAPAROUS, but he just he wanted to be the secondary, not the primary anymore.
Tony, you need to eat. You're diabetes.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, Zaxxon. Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get Marty's joke earlier tonight. Jim Steele, no worries, sir. Good night. Have a good night. Yeah, okay, Zaxxon, I get it now. But yeah, you're right. People over the purse. One sandwich, after midnight. Never hurt anybody. Oh, Mikey does this to us all the time. Hey, I had homemade grilled cheeseburgers and fries tonight. Mikey, you're just a slob. There's the man.
Yes.
The stream is now complete with Doctor Who. The doctor is in the room.
Hi, Doctor Who.
Jason says, remember, Rob, if you can spell Tesla backwards, you're all set. I like that. I never realized it. I love it, Jason. Mr. Don Relic Reaper's here. We are now over 20 people, folks. Here is the fun show link for information. Fantastic, Mikey. Thank you. Is that the coin show, Mikey?
Hi, Don.
When did this start? I got no notice. Uh, Doctor Who, we were all on Bill's regular Tuesday night stream tonight, and he was having some hip pain issues that I could tell he was a little uncomfortable. So he wanted to knock off a little early, and I said, folks, if you all want to, we can continue over here. And then Bill said if he felt up to it, he'd see if he could pop in, and we just transferred it to mine. Take the pressure off, Bill.
Yep.
It's this weekend.
And again,
Okay.
thank you, Rob.
Oh, no, thank you, Bill. So yeah, there was no previous notice on this Doctor Who. But Don, great seeing you tonight. See, I gotta remember that Tesla thing. I never.
Yeah, I never
Tony
thought
says,
of that.
Mikey, we had a whole bunch. We had my best friend and his extended family here with the kids and the grandkids Sunday, 2 days before 4th of July, for the 4th of July weekend, and I fired up the grill and I made everybody big fat juicy burgers, and we had baked beans and we had coleslaw, we had deviled eggs. We had a really nice 4th of July party, and the kids obviously stayed in the pool all day long. You know, it's been a good day for kids when they've been in the pool for like 4 hours, but yet they still cry when they get out. I mean, it's just, you could leave a kid in the pool all day long, and when you tell him he's got to get out, he's still going to cry. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had made like 15 burgers, and we only ate like 8 or 9 at the party. So Denise and I had burgers the next 2 nights, and Denise made some fresh vegetables, and we put the cheese on them. So yeah, we had homemade burgers for like 3 nights in a row, and it was great.
Hey,
But
Don,
yeah,
me too.
we only started like 15 minutes ago, Doctor Who, just before 11.
Y'all killing me with late night food chat.
Jackson says, and yet you still found us. That's hilarious, Jackson. There you go, Bill. Don says, take a shot.
Yeah,
No,
I'm thinking.
can't blame you two tonight. I got notice of my own stream on Monday after it started.
Yeah.
Don says, now I want a burger.
I think the other night when I was in M.A. Lyman's 24th stream, I got the notice about an hour after he started.
Mikey says, I've already made people hungry in another stream. Zaxxon, some of mine don't work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
What I hate for some reason, I get no notifications from YouTube that anybody's left a comment on any of my videos now. None whatsoever.
You know what I find? I find that when you go to a lot of people's shorts, it says they have 0 comments, and you click on it, you go, oh, well, you know, this is a good little short. I want to make sure I leave the person a comment. You click on the comment, and there's like 14 comments up there. But YouTube never shows that they have any comments.
Yeah. What's happening
My
with
bell,
mine?
my bell rung is always late.
On my shorts, if I don't answer it the same day, the next day I go to click on the comments and it won't show them.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever had. Hi, big dog. Do you need to go out, big dog? Do you need to go out? All right, let's go out, big dog.
They'll do
Marty
that,
said,
Marty, at 3.5. Yep.
I'm telling you, kids in pools, they'd
They
live
love
in
them.
pools if they could. All right, I see you nudging me. All right, come on.
But yeah, I mean, YouTube's all screwed up with that stuff.
Do you realize
Yeah,
how much data they have to process? Come on, big dog.
I'm thinking of getting the YouTube, hooking up the YouTube studio, but I've heard some bad things about it too.
Come on, big dog. Come on.
Yeah, Doctor Who, that would exactly what would happen too. That's why I have cats. Just throw a litter box in the corner and don't worry about it. Oh, he's had hip issues for a long time, Diana. They were both out for the longest time. They finally got one in. And the other one, they're working on getting it back in. So longest time, a few years now, he's been walking on 2 dislocated hips. So. Yeah, Jason. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Well, it's not so much issues, Jackson, and the works of it. It's something that if you agree to use that, they have rights to do something that they don't on if you don't use it. I can't remember what it was. Dang.
All right, I'll be right back. I just got to get Big Dog a cookie she potty. Nobody gives me cookies when I potty, but I got to get the Big Dog one.
Yeah, Doctor Who, the wind's time is kicking everybody's arse.
Cats are at the door going, well, how come we can't go out tonight? No, that ain't happening. I am not chasing you through a dark backyard. All right, let's see here what I missed.
You want 4 more cats? No, Marcy. Thanks. Got enough.
Yeah, Don, we're doggy sitting for 3 more days.
Doctor Who, nobody gives me a cookie when I potty either. The struggle is real. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys could see my hip when I got up there. I went to the chiropractor today, but he just my right hip just will not cooperate. But I am feeling a little better, guys. I'm trying to lose a little weight. I've had no issue. It works for me because it separates comments from my videos away from replies to my comments on others' videos. Okay. No, Mark, we don't.
Yeah, those ain't cookies.
Tony, couldn't agree more. I used to when I had my video store at the flea market store. I used to argue with the people that own the flea market. I'm like, listen, all these people coming in, driving into your flea market right now, all these people you're taking $1 from to park in your parking lot are not your customers. Us vendors are your customers. We're the people that pay you rent directly to here. The people coming in here are our customers. They always treat us like crap, and I'm like, we're the people making you money. If you didn't have good vendors selling good products, nobody would come into this flea market. They're not coming here to get your dollar hot dogs, okay?
Yeah.
So Tony, yes, I couldn't agree more. Dana says she doesn't get cookies either when someone keeps leaving blue cookies in the gas station restroom if you guys want. That's a sign. Do not eat the blue mint in the toilet. Yeah, that's up there in the men's room. Do not eat the blue mints. She's a good dog. Sadie. I've done a couple shorts on her lately. I'm sure you guys have seen. When she looks at you sad though, she just looks like she's the saddest dog in the world. But that dog gets some serious loving. She's got a very big loving family. They're having some major house renovations done this week, so they asked if we could take the dog to keep her out of the way. Mikey says had a cookie yesterday. Oh, you guys kill me.
Oh God.
Right now, my cookie days are over. Bill, I want you to know how good I was, even with Denise getting 4 orders of gooey's ready to go for some people here and some people mailed out. I didn't get a single gooey, and I didn't try and eat one.
Wow. Yeah.
We call those low-income hockey pucks. Oh, that's bad.
No.
After dinner. Oh, I love it. You guys crack me up. Chocolate chip cookies. You can't go wrong with chocolate chip cookies. But yeah, guys, over in Bill's stream, we started talking about Miss Mary said something about my hidden jar of peanut butter, and we started on a peanut butter and chocolate rant, which wound up with Reese's peanut butter cups and peanut M&Ms. And yep, Reese's peanut butter cups are my #1 favorite candy.
Yeah.
But I'll take peanut M&Ms all day long, whether it's coating my liver or not, Bill.
Yeah, same here, Rob. But it's funny, I remember
Don
years back.
I'm busy. I guess I missed something back in the day. What is a gooey? Don, Denise, my you all know Denise, my girlfriend. She has her own cleaning business and concierge business where she cleans numerous millionaires and wealthy people's homes. And obviously, she can't go buy them an expensive gift for 30 customers or she'd be broke. So she bakes them baked goods for Christmas, and she does a lot of baking at Christmas. And Denise is a very good baker. Her secret recipe or her main thing is a thing she called butter gooeys, and basically it's yellow or lemon, yellow like Duncan Hines yellow cake mix with 2 bars of cream cheese, butter, and I think eggs, and it's baked into like a cake that has a soft gooey cream cheese center, and then when she brings them out of the baking pan, they're sprinkled and covered with powdered sugar. Um, they're pretty much the most to die for dessert you've ever tasted, and her customers wait every Christmas to get these things, and so we shipped a batch. We shipped a batch to Charlie once, and Charlie's now a crack addict. He's now a gooey addict. So that's some way to get one. Oh,
But Rob, years
absolutely.
ago, I worked in an all-night market, and there's this guy named Charlie that used to come in. He was a single dad with 5 kids, 5 little ones. And the first time I dealt with the guy, he goes, I'm here to pick up the stale stuff in the back room. I go, what? Well, I didn't know this guy bought stale cookies, stale tips, whatever, anything stale. Because he got it like half off. I thought, well, I know some places they give that stuff to ranches for pig feed, stuff like that. It was for his kids. And I go, you feed that stuff to your kids? He goes, they've never had anything else, so it doesn't bother them. They don't know any different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went, okay.
You know, when I was driving the armored car, me and my partner used to carpool because he lived further north than me. So we tried to help each other on the gas. So he would drive to my house, and if it was his week, we'd take his car. If it was my week, we'd take my car to try and save some money. I mean, because we were together in the truck, so it's not like one of us was going to get off faster than the other. So I had on one of my rental properties, I had a guy that was managing a donut place. So we would get off work at 11:30. He'd be closing down the donut shop. So he's got guys come on by on that night, and there were nights that he gave me 3, 4, 5 dozen donuts, and I'd bring home. And then the next day at 2:30, when we were driving to work at the armored car shop, we'd come into the break room, and I'd drop down 2, 3 dozen boxes of donuts. And of course, I was like an immediate hit with all the guys at the place as they were getting off work at 4 and 5, coming in and seeing boxes of donuts there. And after about 3 weeks, my boss came to me and said, "Stop bringing the donuts. I can't have the donuts here. Everybody's gaining weight. I can't have the donuts here, Grant. Everybody's not fitting for uniforms." See, that would be good. S'mores with peanut butter cups. That would be excellent. Backyard beekeeper guy.
That's like, I worked at this place for about 15 years where if we worked Saturdays, they brought us donuts. Well, the owner would hit Krispy Kreme. Well, his wife was a health fanatic, so one Saturday she opened up. She went to this place called Flower Garden. It was new wave, hippie kind of, ooh, this is healthy stuff for you. And we all bit into it and go, what is this crap? Well, these are healthy. Well, donuts aren't supposed to be healthy. Go get us some real donuts.
Tony says, I love Butterfingers, but I have not had one for 34 years. Yeah, Tony, I would probably put Butterfingers in my top 10. Now that you get older, they're a little tougher on the teeth now when you get older, the Butterfingers. And Bill, I can't do hard candy anymore. Hard candy's out. When you want to make sure you protect your teeth, the hard candy's out. Ohio Fredo says brownies with peanut butter on top and then chocolate frosting over that. Ohio Fredo, that's sometimes my buddy that was here for the 4th of July party last week. His wife always makes her classic fudge brownies for every party we have, and she also brought fudge brownies to the 4th of July party. Fredo, it's funny you said that because one time she tried making them with peanut butter, and they were just phenomenal.
Okay, Rob, that what he just said, and then you add the cream cheese, and it makes a brown peanut butter chocolate gooey, and they are fantastic.
Denise made a batch. Instead of using yellow cake mix, she used chocolate cake mix, and she made Charlie a batch of chocolate butter gooeys, and she gave me a few. This was before I was on my diet. She gave me a few, and they were good, but I still like the yellow gooeys better. Good evening, Gregory Gibson. Welcome, Gregory Gibson. Dearth means no nectar. Thank you, Jason. Marty says they changed the Butterfinger several years ago. Not a big fan anymore. I did not realize that. Oh, Jason, we're the place to learn stuff here today.
Night, Pat.
Dearth is also the Dodge dealership in Rome, Wisconsin. Where do you guys come up with that? The Dearth Star. I know, you cost him uniform cash. Yeah, my boss just said stop bringing in the donuts. Yep, Reese's Pieces are good. And I'll give you guys a fun movie fact. Are you ready for this, Bill? Since we were talking about M&Ms, the
You're,
movie E.T. that turned into be one of the top 10 grossing movies of all time when it came out, they used Reese's Pieces because M&Ms would not give them authority to use M&Ms. So M&Ms lost what, $1 billion worth of free advertising when E.T. became one of the biggest movies in the world, and it
yeah.
advertises Reese's Pieces every time somebody watches that movie. They see Reese's Pieces, and M&Ms had that first, and they wouldn't let them put it in there.
Bet they've been kicking themselves in the ass ever since.
I bet they have been kicking themselves in the ass. Geez, I'd settle for a milk bone at this point. Doctor Who, I just gave out milk bones, sir.
Nightmare.
One of my favorites, but hard to find, is Chico Stick. Yeah, I've never seen any of those around here. It was a slow year honey production, even though I played my flowers for the sweet sounds of Dearth, Wind, and Fire. Oh.
Oh, I always loved Charles
Yeah,
Choo
brewers,
Bar.
brewers, if your brownies are anything like Pat's, I will try one, brewers. I guarantee you there will be some time I get up your way, sir. Because there's several other channels up by your way that I want to get to. Jeff, I had hoped that 2023 was going to be my year of travel metal detecting, but uh, Denise's dad has, well, we've got a little bit extra care to take care of Denise's dad, so I will not be traveling this year. Um, but if I do get up that way, I mean, last year I made a trip up to Maryland and I made a trip up to Missouri. I got to meet Shane from Ohio River History. He took me to meet Beard and Risha. I got to hunt with Beard and his dad. And then Shane and I left southern Missouri, and then we drove up together to northern Missouri, and we got a hotel room for 3 days in northern Missouri near my sister's, and we hunted that town up there where we both got Indians. I got that 1860s trigger guard. I found flat buttons, uh, and Shane and I just had a phenomenal time for 3 days. And then I got back up to Maryland. I got to my cousins in Maryland, and I got to hunt up there. But yeah, that's not happening this year. The trip I took up to Charlie's a couple months ago up in Tallahassee, Florida Hunt 9, and now this trip here to the East Coast I'm going on this weekend will probably be my big trips for the year. Pat's going, hell yeah, Jeff. I will try one, Jeff. I will definitely try one, Mr. Brewer. Miss Amber, have a very good night, ma'am. We do this on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We do a stream from 9 to 11:30. We have a lot of duck races. We play games. We do giveaways. Sunday morning is a lot of fun, Miss Amber, if you can make it. Payday bars, you can't go wrong with them either.
Oh,
Mr. Silver Wrench is here tonight. Mr. Kenneth Bird's here tonight. Paydays bars, that'll work. Oh, I just got one in one of those throwback candy boxes for Father's Day. That's a cool Don. I didn't know they did that. Ah,
yeah,
Tony
there's
said trycandyfavorites.com. Look at that. Tony's
yeah,
right here.
yeah, there's one of the places goes all the way back to the 1920s on candy bars.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know, it's
we
funny.
got someone.
You look back, Bill, you see some of the two World War II shows like Band of Brothers or something, and you saw that Hershey put all the candy bars in all those KP rations back then.
Yeah,
Oh my God, Chris says candy cigarettes. I remember in junior high, we just thought we were the coolest kids in the school if you could have some candy cigarettes.
yeah.
Twix bars came out with a peanut butter Twix years ago that tasted just like the Girl Scouts peanut butter patty. I was ready to buy stock in the company until they canceled it. Yeah, I got Denise some. We like the peanut butter Girl Scout cookies and those coconut chocolate things. What are they called? The Samoans. Yeah, I could OD on those things. Chris, that's a deal, sir. Because if I come up through Missouri, I'll just come straight south to north, so I can hopefully take whatever perpendicular road going up there, Chris, to see you. I will definitely give you notice if I come up to. Take care, Amber, and thanks, and love to see you Sunday. Jackson 6, I'm
Wait a
taking a lot of trips here almost daily.
minute.
Go to home, go to work, go to home. Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
I'm going to back on out of here, Rob. I got to hit the sack.
Take care, Bill.
Thank you, Rob. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, Don says, yeah, go to Old Time Candies. Oh, I'm going to have to write that down because Denise will definitely be interested in that website. Yeah, Denise is definitely a chocolate person and definitely a candy person. So yeah, that is definitely something. You know what? I'm going to write that down right now. OldTimeCandies.com. Oh, cool! You can get them through different decades. Well, that's just cool as hell. They do, Jason. They do sound fun. And you know what? You know, who just said they got that for Father's Day? That's a great Father's Day gift. You got somebody that likes candies and stuff, and to give them a reminder of days gone past, that would be awesome. Oh, Jesus, Tom, get out there and hunt. You've only used your new Xterra twice. Come on. Get out there, buddy. Crap, you got the park right across the street from your daughter's house. I want to find the lollipop that used to vibrate your teeth to hear music. Now, I'm not familiar with that one. That does sound interesting, though. I'm just not familiar with that one. Yeah, that's a problem. Finally got a little money to spend and no time to do anything with it. Yeah, that's not a bad problem to have, though. Time is something I have plenty of. Money? No. Time? Yeah, plenty. I remember whistle pops. Yes, I do. I wasn't that wasn't something I had a lot myself, but I do remember those. That was that was Tom. We were at one of the places. Hey, dog got deep silver out of that park, Tom. And I know I got a couple Wheaties out of your yard, Tom, or your daughter's yard, and I think I got one or two out of the park also. But Dalton pulled that really deep murk out of that park. That was like 9, 10 inches. Yeah, I'm looking forward, guys, to going over to the East Coast this weekend. I'm hopefully going to be leaving here Friday morning between 7 and 7:30. It's about a 3.5 hour drive over to Pat's. So I hope to get there between 10:30 and 11. Get up together. It's going to be about another 45 minutes to get up to Shane, and then I'll probably pick up Pat, and we'll head up there. And oh yeah, the old wax harmonicas, and then your wax fake teeth that you put in that you bit into and had the liquid inside. Oh, Jackson, almost every every candy is great for dentists. I think it was called Sound Bites or something like that. Rob, what did you do with that barber? Is it in a 2x2? No, not yet. Actually, there's all the silver from that box, and then there's all the proofs and the NIFCs. So there's there's the Pearl Harbor one with the sticker on it. I'm keeping that because my dad was at Pearl Harbor, and there it is, guys. I will adjust the zooming, but for you folks that haven't watched the last coin roll hunting, that was an ender, guys. That's a once in a lifetime find coin roll hunting there. I've never even found one of these metal detecting, but that baby is just absolutely stunning. And that came out with 4 Franklins along with the barber. I got 4 Franklins, and then 1 64 Kennedy, and then 4 40% Kennedys, and then some moron drilled into the Kennedy. So yeah, that box had 10 silvers, and 6 of those were 90%, including 1 Kennedy, 4 barbers, and this absolutely stunning, or 4 Franklins and 1 barber. But yeah, I'll be putting that. Now I'm not putting that in a 2x2. I'm putting that in one of those plastic case 2x2s that I can display. So that gives me 72 silvers coin roll hunting so far. Tony, it is insane, and it's funny because I went back the next week and got my 2 boxes there the next week, Tony, and I didn't get a single silver. So I went from 22 silvers and 2 boxes to 0, and it just so happened that what I think is I think somebody went to a coin machine, or somebody went to their bank and they just traded them in, and the people didn't care what they were. They just threw them in the bank bags, and they went through the coin roll hunting machine at the Federal Reserve Bank or the regional bank, and there could have been more in the 3rd box, so somebody could have got a 3rd box of this and just been excited too. But the next week's box is that I was already past that collection. But I guarantee some grandkid or some grandfather died or something, and the family just dumped the stuff. But all 8 barbers looked exact. I mean, I keep saying barbers. All 8 Franklins had the same staining and toning on them. They had to come from the same collection. Yepper, Mikey. I checked on that, Mikey, and I, even in just G4 condition, Mikey, it's going for over 30. Thank you, guys. I'm so bored this evening. I've been sanding glass for 4 hours. Hang on, let me catch up to this. Everybody's checking. Thank you for the nice comments. Yeah, I got a Merc Tom in that house across the street that I got permission on, and then Dalton got the one out. I think he got 1 or 2 out of the park. I cut bottles in a sanding glass so it's not sharp. Bottles in a drink. Oh, very cool, Dr. Ho. Take care, Don. Thanks for popping in with us tonight. Don't show Charlie those coins. I heard the guy can throw. Zaxxon, he never found that V-nickel he threw over his shoulder on the live stream. I mean, right there on the live stream. What he thinks is we think it hit his little garbage can that he has in the office, and that him or his wife emptied out the garbage can and didn't. And that's the only thing he can think of where that V-nickel disappeared. Yeah, you're right. Tom, I think I got 2 silvers that day, and I think Dalton got 2 Mercs and a GW. I think he got a GW around the other side of that park. But yeah, we came back from hunting with you that day. I think we had 5 silvers. Mr. Minix in Indiana got a box similar to that. I'll have to check that out, Jackson. Somebody was telling me about that, but I couldn't remember his name. Thank you. Yeah, Tony. It literally was the luck of the draw that they gave me, because, like I say, I've done 2 boxes since this box, and I haven't gotten any silver. Good evening, Miss Lisa. You are up late tonight with us late folks. I'll link the video. Thank you very much, Zaxxon. Much appreciated. Yeah, guys, like I say, I'm heading over to the East Coast Friday morning. I'm going to be over there Friday and Saturday. I'm staying with Kimberly and her wife. They have a beautiful home. She lives about 5-10 minutes from Pat. Shane is staying up at Cocoa Beach, which is about 45 minutes north of Vero Beach. So Kimberly has to work Friday, so I'll be picking up Pat, and we'll go up to get Shane, and we're going to go to downtown to hopefully the historic area, either find some parks or curb strips. All right, I'm trying to see how I. All right, but you got the link in there, so Barber dimes are much harder to come by, and there is a lot with low mintage. Yeah, Mikey, it's Mercs are pretty common for us to find here for me, Troy, and Dalton. But a barber around here in Tampa Bay is a real treat. Um, Mark, somebody asked me that earlier, and I know nothing about Confederate money to where I wouldn't even buy any. I mean, unless if I was at a garage sale and somebody had some super cheap, yeah, I would take a chance on it. But what I've heard about Confederate money is that since the Confederacy had so much less resources than the Union, that uh, there was so much less Confederate paper money made because they just didn't have the mints. That any Confederate money and a lot of their coinage, I think, was more tokens than it was coinage. But any Confederate paper money is a lot less in volume than your Union script. So it's more valuable than most of the Union money. But the problem is that there's such a high demand for it that there's a huge counterfeit market for it, and they make it look old. And I just don't know if you get real counterfeit money. There's some bills that can be worth some pretty good money, and obviously with Confederate bills, I'm sure they'd be no different than any other bill. The better condition it's in, the better it's going to be worth. Good evening, Enforcer. I was reading about some guy in Kentucky that found a whole bunch of Confederate gold and silver on his property. Uh, Miss Diana, somebody brought that up in the Sunday stream, and they were talking about that. I had not heard that yet, but they said it was a cache of coins, and I'm going to go research that. So we'll talk about that on the Sunday stream. You got to get out of StreamYard. I'll add as a comment to one of your other videos. Thank you. Or you could just send me uh, FL Thunder at me.com. And everybody says, how did you get an email address with me.com? I don't know. It's what Apple iPad gave me when I got my iPad. Finders keepers, hello again. Why am I still up? Good evening, backbreaking. We just we just continued this after the Bill show because he wasn't feeling good, guys. His hip was flaring up on him and giving him some pain, so he wanted to knock off a little early, and we still had a good amount of room. So I said, folks, if Bill's not feeling good, let's just zip it over to Airstream, and we'll head over there. I need to come out with my own currency. Doc Bucks. I like it. Wow, Saxon said he heard 700 coins and $20 of them were $20 gold coins. That's insane. And you know what's funny is that the guys, this is an interesting story. The guys that do the Curse of Oak Island, Marty and his brother, I can't remember their last name, but the two guys that are doing the dig up at Curse of Oak Island, they have been approached by numerous other people for treasure hunting, and they've also approached other people to make shows. So that Confederate search for the Confederate gold or search for the Confederate treasure spun off them, where there's a group of 3 or 4 guys that have been looking for this cache of Confederate gold, which is what the whole movie with Matthew McConaughey. He's another one of my man crush guys. The one with Matthew McConaughey did looking for the monitor, the ship, the Confederate ship that took the hidden gold. That he goes over to Africa and finds it over there. What the hell was the name of that? I enjoyed that movie. And they wind up finding the gold at the end. Well, these guys were chasing supposedly this cache of yep, the curse of the Confederate gold. That's exactly right. And this Kentucky find is, I mean, it's going to renew people's faith that there's more of that hidden out there. Some of the gold coins were so old they didn't have, and God would trust on them. Ridiculous. Guys, here's the United States coin books. I keep this out handy whenever I'm doing a box of coins, and I was working on a box of quarters today. I don't do quarters a lot because I've never ever found a silver quarter. Um, just type 700 coin find on Google, comes right up. I'm going to do that, Jackson. Well, they proved that it was split up in Georgia and they all went separate. See, and that's what they've been trying to determine. Um, and what you're talking about some of the gold coins were so old they didn't have In God we trust on him. Well, guys, I found out a nice little tidbit here. Um, I have found one 2-cent piece here in the Tampa Bay area. It is one of the few. Uh, it is one of the few 2-cent pieces that have been found in Florida. We don't find 2-cent pieces because um, here is the 2-cent piece in the book. Okay. Now, what's interesting about the 2-cent piece? It was only made from 1864 to 1873, so it was only made 9 years. In 1 year, like the year that they started it, there was hardly any made, so that's the really expensive one. Well, I found I believe mine's in 1867. It's in really nice shape too because it was in our Florida sand. Well, here's the interesting thing. The 2-cent coin is the first American coin with the motto "In God We Trust" on it. Okay, so that was 1864. Okay, so if any of those Confederate coins or any of those gold coins from the U.S. were pre-1864, yes, you're exactly right. Tony's right. So if you have an 1863 coin or before from the U.S., it will not have "In God We Trust" on it. So that's how some of those gold coins found do not have it on there. I think Tony means 2-center, but is typing. Have you seen that Ridley Scott Napoleon trailer? Oh my God, this movie's going to be incredible. Oscars all around. No gourmet, but that sounds incredible. 1840 to 1863. Marty thinks he read for the coin articles. Yep, every single one of those coins will not have "In God We Trust" on them. Oh, this has been awesome, guys. We're going to have to talk about this Sunday morning. Thank you, Zaxxon. That's one article on them. Thank you. Tri-Valley Metal Detecting and Outdoors. Welcome. Good evening. I'm learning here tonight. Backyard, so am I. These old cases of coins being found are just fascinating because most of the time we read about this stuff over in Scotland or England, back from the days when the Romans invaded, uh, all the way up to Hadrian's Wall. And if you guys have never watched the Detector show on BBC, I believe it's now on Netflix or Amazon, but it was 3 seasons. The two middle-aged guys that go out detecting and looking for the Roman gold. It is a great family show. It's fun. Even the bad guys in the show or the other metal detecting club that plants finds, even they're not real bad guys, and it's a really good family show. It was turned on to me by Alex, my old detecting partner. She had seen it, and guys, I bet I've watched that all 3 seasons. I bet I've watched it at least 3 times. Congratulations, Gregory. My oldest coin is an 1854 half dime. Well, I can honestly say that my oldest coin is that 1867 2-cent piece. Oh, absolutely, Tony. Absolutely. Jackson says, I live in a freaking desert. Can't find that kind of stuff here. Hey, uh, I was just with Dalton a couple months ago. As a matter of fact, I just published that video, I think, on a Monday Digs a few weeks ago. I got my first 1870s Indian and 1874 Indian, which is not easy also to find in Florida. So those are my two oldest coins: the 1867 2-cent piece and the 1874 Indian. And then again, my oldest silver is the 1892 Barber dime that I found right here locally, 5 minutes from Denise's house. I went all the way to Missouri and hunted with Shane, and on some really old ground in Missouri, and I come back to within 5 to 10 minutes of the house to find my oldest silver. And what I didn't realize is Dalton sent me a text saying, "Oh, you were so close," until I figured out he meant that 1891 was seeded. So I missed my white whale seeded coin by 1 year. Good evening, Dirt Clod. I've been in mines from the 1870s. That would be way cool too, but there is so much lit out there. Good luck detecting. There you go. Yeah, Marty. Anything in the 1870s here is for Indians. And I know 1877 is the premier year for an Indian. If it's in decent shape, it's worth three, four, five, $700. I saw Billy, the stocky, heavyset guy on the Hoover Boys, who we haven't seen in a while. We haven't seen Billy, and we haven't seen. I always forget the fifth guy's name. Uh, Crap. But I got to meet Billy, Kurt, and B-Rad at the Maryland club meeting when I was up in Maryland. I went to their club meeting, and they took me in, guys, like I had known them for years. Um, no, not Brad, the other guy. You got Brad, Kurt, Billy, uh, uh, the older guy that came in fifth. That's the security guard that's working a lot now. Um, God, I can't believe I forget his name. Your car shorts are hilarious. Thank you, sir. Oh no, I guess he's talking to Zaxxon. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, I don't have any car shorts. Um, I have information for you, Ron, but I'd have to call you. I want a 5% finder's fee. Absolutely, Doctor. Who I'd give you that finder's fee anytime. Thank you, Moon. Um, Billy, Kurt, Brad, Bob. That's it. That's the older guy. Bob. I keep wanting to say Lou, but it's not Lou. I'll think of the fifth Hoover Boy name. But anyway, Billy on one of the hunts that the Hoover Boys was on camera, dug an 1877 Indian worth about $300-400 at least. Tom, I know you got to go to work tomorrow, buddy. Have a good night, Tom. Get out there and detect, Tom. No, Pat, it's not Steve, but it is a one name. It is a one name, one syllable name. Oh crap! Now I'm gonna make myself look it up. Leo. How could I forget Leo? Yep. So yeah, I got to meet Billy, Kurt, and Brad at a club meeting when I was staying with my cousin. Come to find out, when I gave my cousin the address for the club meeting, she goes, "Rob, that's literally 8 minutes down the road." And my cousin lives in a little town called Rosedale outside of Baltimore. Good evening, Dennis. You were supposed to be in bed, buddy. Ashley Miss Mercury, I watch them every Friday. Um, yeah, their new guy now is Muck. Him and Kurt seem to be going out quite a bit because the other guys, well, Brad got married. He was a single guy when they started. Brad got married, and then not only did he get married, that took up his time. You got a wife, you got commitments, and then he had a kid, and now he just had a second kid. So Brad's now got a family with two kids. Kurt's kids are getting a little older. Um, Bob got the good job as armed security at some high target. So Bob's doing armed security for some big facility, so he's not around much. Um, Billy's had some health issues, and Leo apparently is just working a lot. So the drugs working me up. But yeah, so it's mostly Muck and Kurt now. Um, yeah, they were one of the first channels I ever watched when I started metal detecting, and it's funny because I started watching them and I went, what's weird about these guys? They got an accent like they're from Maryland. They got like a Baltimore accent, and then when their video ended and they put their Maryland logo up there, Well, of course, I'm from Maryland, so I know that's the Maryland state flag in their logo. And then I go check them out and find out that they're, four guys from Baltimore. I'm like, well, no wonder they sound like me and all my cousins, because that's where they live. Yeah, back or a beekeeper got life happens. I mean, Rob, how heavy is a metal detector? Do you think a drone would be able to fly with it? The short answer is no. Most metal detectors are around 2.2 pounds, 10 ounces. The Knox is 2.9. I've heard the Xterra is a couple ounces less than that. Uh, the Manicore and the Deus 2 are probably a little bit heavier than that, maybe an ounce or two heavier than that. But most of your newer lightweight metal detectors are under 3 pounds. Um, so I don't know if it's the weight, if it's more so the weight distribution and how big they are. You probably have to have a pretty serious drone for that, Doctor Who. Well, that's not good, Dennis. But thankfully, I got some good drugs. Well, good drugs are always good. Wow, Tony, they've been on that long. I've been watching them the 6.5 years I've been detecting. I didn't realize they were that long. Tony says a Knox 800 is just 2 pounds on a carbon shaft. There you go, Doctor Who. I had somebody tell me once. Now, guys, when I went to Maryland the first time, I still had my 705. I didn't have my Knox yet. Well, actually, I'm not even sure if the Knox had just come out. I was still pretty new using my 705, my first detector, when I went to Maryland. And I called up their treasurer because they have it on their website. And I say, hey, I'm new. I'm coming up to the area. Can I come to your meeting? Absolutely. We love to have guests. You're more than welcome. I showed up at their meeting, guys. They do a little fun hunt in the grass. They do like a little seated fun hunt in their grass before their meeting, kind of just get everybody warmed up and everybody talking to each other. And then you come inside, guys, and everybody brings a different food item for a potluck dinner at their meetings, and then they all have dinner. And I walked in as a newbie off the street, no food. They invited me in. They fed me dinner. They gave me a raffle ticket as a person at the meeting. I won a silver quarter in the raffle. And guys, the Hoover Boys took to me like I'd known them for years. Everybody at their club treated me great, and I'd been detecting less than a year. And then I'll never forget this. Kurt stood up and said, "Guys, I want to go out hunting Saturday. Who can hunt Saturday?" And not a single person in his club could hunt that day, including his three other Hoover Boys. So I raised my hand. I said, "Kurt, I know you don't know me, but I'm in town. I'll be here Saturday." He said, "Rob, give me your number. I will call you where to meet me Saturday." And he did exactly that. He had a 300-acre field from the 1800s that he invited me on. And the time I showed up, he walked over and I said, "You find anything?" He says, "Yep, I got an Indian." He had like an 1880s or 1890s Indian. And I said, "Wow, that's awesome." I was just amazed because I had never found an Indian head penny. And he just handed it to me. He said, "Here, take this. I've got hundreds of them at the house." And I still have Kurt's Indian in a 2x2 here in my coin book. And him and I spent the whole day in that 300-acre field. And I went to find some iron pieces, and he got an old spoon and stuff like that. But I've heard people say, "Oh, they won't hunt with you unless you can give them land," or "They won't go hunt with you unless you swap properties and you have to." Nope. He took me out, guys, and I will forever defend the Hoover Boys because I was a brand newbie, didn't know crap. I didn't even have a pinpointer, and they treated me like I'd been detecting for years. There you go, Tony. Thank you, Dirk Claude. Yes, you're never going to hear me bash the Hoover Boys. They do as many live digs as they can. They show the trash they get at the end of the hunt, but they don't focus on it. But guys, when they're showing that beautiful red board they have of all those finds, you can see that 5 gallon bucket in the background that's just full of crap. Wow, Tony says my first 15 years without a pinpointer. I came back from that Maryland trip, and before I left to go up to Maryland, I drove up there. Denise and I had 4 clients leave town at the same time that summer, and they all asked her to watch their dogs. So we had 4 dogs here, which we'll never do again. But we had 4 dogs. Luckily, they all got along. And we had those 4 dogs for like 9 or 10 days. So Denise made an obscene amount of money babysitting those dogs. Um, so when I came home, she surprised me by having a Garrett carrot sitting on the kitchen counter for me. She gave me that as my help for helping her do the dogs for those 9 days. So yeah, I came home from Maryland trip with a nice new pinpointer waiting. Good evening, Miss Grandma Kelly. Man, everybody's up late night tonight. Doctors, I mean, I need to move to Florida. Buddy, let me tell you something. You just watch my Clearwater videos. I love it down here. I call this a poor man's paradise or a poor man's Hawaii. Um, what other state can you be in, and can you wake up over in Daytona Beach or Vero Beach at the Disney Resort that Denise and I belong to, that you can wake up, look out the hotel room or your room, and watch the sunset come up over the Atlantic, and then spend the whole day over there, and then drive 3.5 hours across the state to Clearwater and get on Clearwater Beach and watch the sunset go down. And have I done that before? Yes, I have, and it's about the only state in the country that you can do that in. Oh, Grandma Kay just got home. I'm telling you, Jeremy from digging up the Carolinas, him and his wife are just dying to move here, but Tanya's got grandkids. They got grandkids that they don't want to be too far from, or otherwise, I think he'd be down here in a heartbeat. He comes down here, and we take him down to St. Pete with Troy to do 5 foot, 6 foot curb strips, and he's just amazed. He's like, "Man, our curb strips up there are less than a foot wide. You can't even do them." I said, "Buddy, we got more curb strips down here than we could ever hit in our life." Tony says, "I now have 5 pinpointers. That's some extra carry. I got 2. I got my second one from Dennis." Dennis says, "I hope to get some beach detection this winter." There you go. I wonder if anyone has ever made a metal detecting robot. Well, Doctor Who, there is a guy over in Daytona Beach, Brian from I Dig Daytona, ran into him, and he was doing Clearwater Beach, and the guy has a trike bike setup, one of those adult 3-wheel bikes, where he's got it set up to where I think he has it done to where he puts 2 detectors like behind him in the sand, that when he pedals, the detectors are just going over the sand. And I think he's handicapped. But Brian ran into him one day and put the guy's setup on his video. There you go, Miss Mercury. Tampa's a 30-40 minute drive for me. Zaxxon says the end of the candle's done, burned out. Zaxxon, take care, buddy. You can do something similar in Costa Rica. There you go. That's it. There you go, Tony or Dennis. There you go. Have a good night, Jackson. Yes, on the robot. Yeah, Tony, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody's done that. But yeah, I've got my 3 machines now. I got the 600, I got the 800, and I got my original 705 still that still works, because when Shane came down, I only had 1 Knox at the time, so I gave Shane my Knox to use on the beach, and then I used my 705, which was funny because I couldn't remember how to set it up for beach, so I just left it. I just turned it on and went whatever mode I was in. So it's funny because when I use my 6 and 800, I don't use all metal. I discriminate the metal out. So when I do the beach, I don't find any of the metal stakes for the canopies and the tents. And my digging partner Denise K on the beach, her machine's all metal, so she finds all kind of canopy stakes. She's like, "I got 8 canopy stakes now." I said, "I don't have any because I don't find them." But when I was using my old Xterra 705, like I said, I didn't know what mode it was in, so I came home with like 5 or 6 tent stakes that night because the machine picked them up. Tony, you got 6 machines. You better get out there and start using some of them. So much technology, but somehow I still don't have a robot lawnmower. I know Denise wants to get one of those Ego electric mowers. Oh, Chappie, you're the man. Thank you so much, Chappie. Welcome to the stream, and thank you, Chappie. It's so kind of you. You're the man. We're just sitting here BSing Chappie. Bill into the stream about a half hour early because he wasn't feeling good. So we had a full room of like 20, 22 people. So I said, does anybody want to come over? And the whole room came over, Chappie, and we've been talking about candy bars and chocolate and old time candy bars and Florida and sunsets and machines and pinpointers and the 700 coin stash found in Kentucky. Yep, see, Dirk Clyde just said it. She came in after we were talking about. Yep, Dirk Clyde, man, we were talking about that a few minutes before you came in. Yes, we were, and the robot mowers are too expensive, dummies. But yeah, Dirk Clyde, we did hear about that, and I am when we get off the stream tonight, I'm going to research that because that kind of stuff, that kind of history, is just fascinating to me. Yep, a Confederate gold stash. Mr. Freddo, thank you so much for being here tonight, buddy. Of impromptu. Uh, have a great hunt this week. Hope your pockets are filled with silver and gold, and you can still float in the water. Thank you, Ohio Fredo. Appreciate it, buddy. Hopefully, see you Sunday. I love how you guys type. I saw that Diet Claude. You gotta love phones, guys. I'm gonna have to interface a Rumble with a zero-tone mower. That'll work. Thank you, Ohio Fredo. So, Grandma Kelly, when you said you're just getting home, or you're just getting home from work because you work too much too. Mr. Papa says, still here, listening at work. Wow, we had two people at work tonight. Jeff David's Gold Stash. There you go, Mr. Jeff Davis from Maryland. Good evening, Mr. Jeff. I met Mr. Jeff and his family on Clearwater Beach, folks, on vacation. And he has become a very loyal subscriber. There you go, Tony. That's what to do. I do work too much, but I am editing now and listening to you. Well, thank you. Miss Lisa, thanks for popping in tonight, ma'am. I appreciate it. We're probably going to wrap things up here not too long. Jeff, thanks for popping in, buddy. We were on Bill's Tuesday night stream, and he got his hip started bothering him too much, flaring up. So I could see that he was kind of grimacing in pain. So we decided to come over. Bill did pop in for a little bit to say hi. So and the only reason I can do this, guys, is my little section of this dining room is my office. It used to be in the spare bedroom that Denise has. We made that her office, but when her mom passed and we moved her dad in here to take care of her dad, obviously we gave him the master bedroom with the bathroom, and we moved my office outside here. But normally he's just on the other side of this wall right here, and 12:30 is kind of late for an 80-year-old guy. But Mr. Mike fell a couple weeks ago, and he wasn't feeling good after that. So we wound up calling EMS, and they brought him to the hospital and said he was too weak to come home, that he needed to build some strength back up. So he is in rehab right now, and he's getting some good rehab. He's learning to walk and do some exercises, and hopefully he'll be home in 10 days, 2 weeks. But that's the only reason I can be up, is because I'm not making noise next to his side of the house. Well, thank you, Jeff. That's very kind of me. Thank you. Doctor who says, you're all killing me. First food chat and now work. Dennis says, I need someone to make me a tripod. Doctors are saying I might lose my left leg from the knee down. Well, Dennis, that's not good. You have to get one of them robot legs. Thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you, Dennis. Very kind of you. Miss Mercury says, I don't work. I'm happily retarded or retired, whatever one you want to say. Either one will get you retired. But yeah, we were talking about a lot of food earlier. We were talking about the butter gooeys. We were talking about fudge brownies. We were talking about fudge brownies with peanut butter on top. Basically everything Rob can't eat right now. Well, Dennis, I hope you can do whatever you have to do to physical therapy or whatever you need to do to keep that from happening and to get better. I can be the next budget $6 man. Oh, yeah. I saw my chiropractor today, and he did a nice job adjusting my neck, my back. There's my upper back, my hip. Well, my one spot in the back, he pops in really, really well. But the right hip just doesn't want to cooperate. But that's fine. I feel pretty dang good here, guys. I'm lucky. I know. I think we went through the gamut on snacks tonight. I think we did go through the gamut on snacks tonight. There was a couple of candy bars that I hadn't heard of in quite a while. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The 16th to the 22nd this month, Jeff, or August? Yeah, Dennis, you have to. Because I will be back on the 17th, Jeff. So, Jeff, let me give you my email. Jeff, there's my email. What is CWB? CWB is my shorthand, Diana, for Clearwater Beach. Um, when I do my videos, I usually spell it out the first time, but anything I reference after that in the description or whatever, in my lower description, the subtitle, I usually, uh, yeah, CW Beach, Clearwater Beach. Um, so Jeff, yeah, email me, Jeff, and I'll email you back my phone number, and let me know what day that you and your family, are going to be actually out on the beach, and I'll come meet you and walk with you, and we'll do some detecting. Wow, Papa, take care. An hour drive at this time of night. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you hanging out with while you're at work late night tonight, Papa. Appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see you Sunday, sir. It's great seeing you and Happy Chappy here tonight. This is it is. Somebody popped in early tonight. Went, wow, this is like Sunday Light. It is like Sunday Light. We were calling it After Dark with Menardo. Um, that's all right, Dennis. You're not down here all the time. There's lots of people have. I see those little oval stickers people's on cars with the three initials and stuff. And half the time I can't. You see KYW for Key West, but we have and then we have DVC for the Disney Vacation Club because Denise and I belong to that, and then you'll see WDW for Walt Disney World. But there's all kinds that come down from other states that have the three initials, and they're from some area that they're it's popular in their state. I have no idea what it is. Miss Dirt Class has just got a bunch of cherries and blueberries yesterday, so I have been snacking on the. Oh, we've got Denise has got black cherries and blueberries in the fridge for her dad. She takes them over every day to give to her dad over at the nursing home or the rehab center. And the Menardo Midnight Escapades. There's another one, good Tony. Moon says I'll be home from work tonight at midnight. Also tonight. Well, it's 12:19 here, Moon. So are you in the 11:19 zone? Um, wow, I used to, guys. When I worked at Disney for 10 years, I lived over there for 2 years, but for 8 years I drove from here over to Disney, and from Denise's house, it's about an hour and 45 to an hour and 50 minutes. So for 8 years, I did a 4-hour drive plus an 8-hour work shift. I don't know if I could do that at this age, guys. I was a much younger man then. And California time. Okay. Wow, then you are working late tonight. But yeah, I had a 4x4 SUV then, which just sucked for gas mileage. So I put that in my mom's driveway, and my mom let me use her little Saturn. I guess it was the Saturn little S1, little four door that had a little four-cylinder in it. But I know I put over 100,000 miles on that car just going to Disney. Good evening, Brooklyn chick. Welcome to the stream. I am affectionately known as Menardo Rob. I like your thumbnail there. Uh, very Warriors-like leather cap you have there. One of my all-time favorite movies. And she obviously knows Moon over Miami, so that's really cool. Backyard beekeeper guy, I did it one time. I was literally like less than 10 miles from home, and I was sitting at a traffic light of a major intersection, the biggest intersection. I had to go through the whole thing, and like I say, it wasn't 10 minutes from the house. And not, I didn't fall asleep at the red light. The arrow turned green for me to make the left-hand turn from the state highway onto the U.S. highway, and I woke up. I woke up with a big collision sound, and I actually fell asleep after I saw the green arrow in the middle of my left-hand turn. I fell asleep, and I hit a lane dividing sign, and I hit it, ran it over, and then it stayed there, and I had to pop it back up. And fortunately, it didn't do any damage to my mom's car except her front license plate holder. Uh, Thank you, Moon. But yeah, that woke my ass up really fast. Crap, I did 12 hours plus 2 hours early. Do I feel that, Rob? No, no, no. It's time for colored metaphors. I'm now making a PBJ. Oh, I could go for a PBJ and a cup of coffee right now. So bad, Doctor Who. PBJs were just my life before my diet. Moon, loved your video today with the guy driving 80 miles with the toilet. Oh, okay, now I got to go check that out. Yeah, that was scary that one night. I'll tell you what I did a lot of times is I worked 3 to 11 over at Disney's, and 7 of my 10 years I worked at Animal Kingdom. That was the place I started, so I was opening team there, and so that was the park that closed the earliest because the animals. And it was the only park that didn't have fireworks because you couldn't have fireworks with all the animals there. So our park generally closed at 6 or 7, and I worked till 11. So the last 3 hours you get the guests out of the park, and then you're just walking around an empty park, and then you're and being security, you carry all the master keys to all the buildings. So we'd get called to meet the electricians or the plumbers or the light guys to fix lights because all the work gets done at night at Disney. And then the midnight crew would come on at 11, but there'd be like 12 of us on evening shift, but on 11 they only had like 5 guys because there's just not a lot to do. Well, if 1 or 2 of those guys called out sick, the midnight supervisor would ask one of the 3 to 11 guys to hang over for half a shift for 4 hours so I could get a 12-hour shift. So based on my overtime rate, if I put the 4 hours overtime in and left there at 3 in the morning, I would just drive to a local hotel, a little cheapo hotel, and get a room for $40 because it was less than my overtime, but yet I just saved myself 4 hours drive time and 4 hours of gas. So it actually worked out to where if I made overtime, it was cheaper for me to stay there. Did that 9 times in 6 years, never again. I know, Tony. I visited the center of the universe in Wallace, Idaho. There's nothing more to see now. Absolutely, Dennis. It's all over, buddy. Just cash it in. So, wow, this is great, guys. I didn't realize you had 17 of us up here at 12:30 at night. This is awesome. I thought about doing this one night a week, guys, after Bill's, but like I say, with Denise is asleep. She's got to be up early for work. Her dad's usually asleep at this time, so it's not easy to do because Rob tends to get a little loud. It's very hard for me to keep my voice at this level. I'm doing a really good job tonight, and Denise has not come out and yelled at me one time, so. Oh, Rob, riding the rides at night. Jeff, probably one of my funnest year or 2 years there is I worked a year at MGM Studios, which is now I guess called Disney Hollywood Studios, but I worked a foot position in the park at MGM, and my part of the park that I was assigned to was the street that Tower of Terror and the Rock and Roller Coaster is on. So like I say, it was our job to help the managers clear the park, and the way they do that is each manager, each attraction, makes sure their attraction's empty, and then we all meet at the attractions and they do what they call push. They all walk down, and then you make sure there's no guest behind you stuck. So you push everybody from each of the 5 lands, and then you meet in the center hub, and then you push everybody out. You walk behind, and because people ask me every day I worked, every single day I worked at Disney, people go, "Do you catch people in the parks late at night? You always catch people in the park?" Not one, not one. It just doesn't happen because they have such an efficient method. Well, anyway, when you get all the guests out of the park, the uh, the rides all have to do one last ride to make sure that there's nobody left and there's nothing left there. So the manager of the Rock and Roller Coaster would call the manager over at Hollywood Studios next door and say, "Hey, bring all your kids over for a ride." And all the Tower Terror employees would come over, and we'd all pile into the coaster, Rock and Roller Coaster. We'd all ride 2 rides, and what was really cool is they would turn the lights on at Rock and Roller Coaster, so you got to see the whole building and all the track. So we would all do 2 or 3 rides there, and then since I wasn't assigned to either one of them, I could go with the Tower, all the Rock and Roller Coaster kids, and go over to the Tower of Terror, and then I got to ride the Tower of Terror 2 or 3 times every night. So guys, for like a year and a half, I got to ride Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror every single night. Brooklyn Chick, thank you for being here. We do this. We do this on Sunday mornings from 9 to 11:30 a.m. as our regular stream. Uh, on a good day, we'll get 80 to 105 people in there, and we have a really good time. So hope you can join us, and great meeting you, Brooklyn Chick. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Rob says I'll run this. I'll take bonus watch hours. Tony, never hurts, buddy. Yeah, guys, I've been very, 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 very blessed in my life. Uh, got to do a job that I loved for 10 years as a police officer, and then I got to do a job that was the funnest job in the world for 10 years working at Disney World, and then I got to drive an armored car for 1 year, armored truck for 1 year, transporting $3 million a day every day from Orlando to Tampa for the Federal Reserve. So, yeah, guys, I had a fun 21 years. Wow, now that Doctor Who's talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, my stomach is growling. Moon is my bestie. Well, we love having Moon here, that's for sure. And guys, I was about, was it 10, 12 years ago, whatever, I bought the house across the street from Denise's house when the little old lady there was selling it, moving back up north with her kids. And me and Denise's dad started working on it to rehab it as an investment house. And then, like I say, that's when her dad had his stroke, so I wound up working on it by myself. And then I ran out of money, and then I'd stop and I'd work some to make money, and then my best friend would help me some. It took me several years, but I finally finished the house across the street, and I wound up selling it after the market came back, after the market crash of 2009. But when I sold the house, yes, I have, Tony. I absolutely have. Miss Diana, that's okay. We're going to wrap it up soon anyway, but thanks for hanging out with me. And Bill. Um, so, anyway, when I sold that house, I just started seeing the TV show Curse of Oak Island. And the guy on that show, Gary Drayton, had a mine lab. He had a top end mine lab, a several $1,000 mine lab. But the more I watched the show, the only guy on that entire island finding anything was the metal detectors guy. So I said, I'm going to try that hobby, and I'm going to go buy a mine lab machine. So I did some research. I told myself I could spend up to $1,000 after I sold my house, and I wound up going down to the local, adventure store and camping store, and bought my first metal detector. And guys, when you find your first silver ring on your third day metal detecting, you're just hooked. My daughter's father is a cop. Well, that's cool. Diana, have a very good night. Thanks for being here. The 705, Tony, absolutely. Used the 705 until I met Mr. Dalton, and he had just bought the brand new Equinox that came out, and he started showing me how nice that machine was. Yep, Jeff, my first ring was I got to zoom in. I got to focus this one. There it is, guys. That's the first ring I ever found. That huge biker's ring with the Aztec sun god on it, on top of the pyramid. That's 0.99 of an ounce of silver right there. It's got the Aztec symbols and the bird, and it's got the Aztec god on the front. That was the first ring I ever found, guys. Third or fifth day metal detecting, and I thought this is going to be the easiest hobby, and this thing is just massive, guys. I said this is going to be the easiest hobby in the world. There's just rings falling out of the skies. I'm going to make $1 zillion. And then I didn't find another ring for 5 months. Yeah, it's just a massive ring. Like I say, it's got this Mayan or Aztec sun god on it. It's got the pyramid, and then you got the old style birds like you see on their pyramids on both sides. I've had so many people. They call this a biker ring. I guess the bikers wear these in case they get into a fight, they can do some damage. And I have had so many people want to buy this ring, and I've never seen anything like this before. Oh, cool, Tony. Thank you, Jeff. That's one of my first 2 or 3 videos, Jeff. So yeah, I can't sell that. It's the first ring I ever found. But yeah, I'll tell you something. You want to get hooked into a hobby, find that on your 5th day. The Montezuma curse ring. That's exactly what that is. Thank you, Jeff. I actually had somebody else watch an early video of mine the other day and comment on something. Yeah, Tony, it's crazy big. It's like, good evening, Mr. Jimmy Licari. It's like 0.9496, almost, at least almost an ounce. But that's something I'll probably never sell, and I'll probably never sell the Freemasons gold medallion either, unless somebody from the Masons offered me some insane amount of money for it. But yeah, that 1906 Freemasons medallion. Now it's not 1.3 ounce; it's close to an ounce. How are we doing tonight, Jimmy? We're probably going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes. We've had a fantastic crowd tonight. Numerous people from our Sunday's show. Got to meet Miss Brooklyn Chick tonight. A few names we haven't seen in a while. Mr. Jeff Davis. And then a lot of regulars on Sunday morning. Mark C. Dirt Clod. Mr. Diggs. Yeah, okay, 0.96. That'll work, Tony. Marty says, I got a call tonight. And you know what, Marty, I think I'm going to go to Jimmy. I'm sorry you just got here, but we've been on since like, I got here at Bill's like at 10 after 9. So, man, we've been on for 3.5 hours. Holy crap. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Hope to see you Sunday morning, Jimmy. I didn't realize we've been on that long. That's right. That's right, Doctor Who. I have to go make another cup of coffee and a PBJ. That's exactly right, sir. All righty, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and hopefully, folks, we'll see you good people Sunday morning. Mr. Charlie will be back, and we have some duck races lined up. See you guys then. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. That's bad. That's bad. Wow, Brooklyn says I did 7.5 last night. Wow. Mark, time does fly. So when you got a good audience and you guys are interacting with people and you're making great zinger comments, it's always fun to be in here with you guys. So we'll see you guys Sunday. Thank you very much.